Good morning, Goodyear kindergartners. This is Miss Augusti with another science lesson. Today, our lesson will be on the life cycle of a plant. So far, we have looked at the parts of plants. We have looked at what plants need in order to survive. And today, we will look at the entire life cycle of a plant. That is, we will look at the beginning of a plant when it's a seed. We'll watch a plant grow from one stage to the next until it gets to maturity and back to the seed stage. This is called the life cycle. Now, every plant, every living thing has a life cycle. I will show you some cards today that have the life cycle of a plant, but the cards are all mixed up. And I would like for you to help me to put my cards back in order. By the end of this lesson, you will be able to put the stages of the life cycle of a plant in the correct order. So, our learning target for today is, says, I will sequence the stages of the life cycle of a plant. The word sequence means to put in the correct order. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to look at the order in which things happen, and we're going to put our pictures in that correct order. Now, how do we know when we're successful today? Our success criteria says, I can put life cycle cards in the right order. I can tell a friend what happens next in the life cycle of a plant. So let's just get started. We're going to start by looking at our life cycle cards, and we're going to see if we can put it in order. Here is our life cycle cards. By the end of the lesson, we want to be able to put these cards in order. Here we have the seed, we have the flower, the sprout, and we have a regular plant. This is our chart that shows us the order in which our cards have to go. We will start at the number 1, and then we will go across to 2 and 3 and 4. Now, I want you to look at my arrows, because the arrows go this way and down, this way and up, and it keeps going around, because when we talk about the life cycle, we start at one spot and we go all the way around, and then we end right back up in that spot where we started. So we're going to start by looking at the various stages of the plant life cycle. Let's first look at the seeds. Here, if you take a close look, these are eggplant seeds. Now, these seeds have come out of the eggplant. In order for the seeds to grow, we have to give them all the things that we talked about in our last lesson that plants need in order to grow. We'll put the seeds in the soil, and then we'll add water. We'll put it in a sunny place where it can get the heat and warmth from the sun. Once I did that, then the seeds sprouted. Sprout means to begin to grow. So here is a plant that sprouted out from the seeds. Here we go. That's the next thing that happened. The plant sprouted, and so we have a little sprout. When a plant sprouts, the roots come out first, and they grow down into the soil. And then this little seedling just begins to grow up out of the ground. The seedling or the sprout continues to grow. The leaves just get a little bit bigger, if you can look at that. The leaves get bigger, and then it keeps growing and it gets bigger still. Now you notice we had two over here. We had 1, 2 leaves, and over here we have 3 leaves this time. And the plant, as the plant grows, it gets more and more and more leaves. Now, from 3 leaves, we come up here and we have 1, 2, 3, and if you look right here, you'll see a bud with more leaves coming up. The plant will keep on growing, and here is one that has grown a little bit bigger, and you can see that it's getting more leaves. And on this one is beginning to bud flowers. The flower bud is coming in right under there. It's a little hard to see it. So let's take a look and see how our plants will look. Okay? So here is a look of all the plants. See, we go from the seed all the way up. The plants keep getting bigger and bigger as the cycle goes on. So let's go over it again. First, we start with seeds. The seeds germinate and they sprout. The roots grow down into the ground. The leaves grow up above ground. The leaves get bigger. We get more leaves and even more leaves until we get to the mature plant, which has a flower bud. Now that flower bud will continue to grow and it will become a fruit. And that inside the fruit, you will have seeds. Now, we're going to take a minute and I am going to show you the fruit and then I'll cut it open so you can see the seeds in there. Eggplant open so that you can see the seeds on the inside of the eggplant. Now, if you look very carefully right there on the inside of the eggplant, you will see some tiny, tiny seeds that are growing on the inside of the eggplant. Now, once these seeds have grown up, they would look just like this. The seeds would look like that right there. That's a mature seed in the eggplant. So this seed would grow up, and when we take the seed, we could put it back in the dirt, give it some water, give it some sunlight, give it some air, and then it's going to go back through this cycle again. So there you have it, boys and girls. That's the complete life cycle of a plant. Now let's see if we can go back and finish up our chart, because I want to be sure that you can put your chart together. The first thing that happens in the life cycle of a plant is that you start with a seed. Notice I have the word start and I have the word finish here. Because with the life cycle, you are going to start and finish in the same place. We're going to start with seeds and we're going to finish with seeds. So we start with the seeds. We take the seeds and we put the seeds in the ground, put some good soil on it, and then the seeds would begin to germinate. So put the seeds in the ground, put water on it so it gets soil, it gets water. The light from the sun is going to shine on it, warm it up, make it nice and bright. And then the first thing that's going to happen is that the roots are going to grow out. So the roots are going to grow out and they're going to grow down. Now the next thing that happens is that the shoot comes out. So here are the shoots. Roots go down, shoots go up. So the shoot goes up above the ground, the roots grow down. Now the shoots would get flowers on them. I'm sorry, that's the next stage. Let's go back. I missed the one stage with just the shoots, okay? So the shoots will come out. So the shoots, the roots go down, the shoots come out. Those shoots will get more leaves, they'll get flowers, and then eventually the fruit will grow on them. Just like we saw in the eggplant, when we will inside the fruit, the seeds will develop, and then we'll be right back here where we started. So we'll be going around in that cycle. Seeds will germinate, the sprouts will grow, the sprouts will develop, you will have flowers and fruit, and inside those fruits you are going to have the life, you're going to see the whole life cycle of the plant. So you are going to have this in your packet. So I want you to take your chart and I want you to take your cards and try to put your cards in order. So we'll start with the seeds. What do you think will be next? Let's see if we can get it right this time. Would it sprout? Okay, so the seed will sprout. That would be number 2. The seed will sprout. And then what happens next? It's going to grow up a little bit more, get more leaves. And then finally, it's going to get flowers, which would grow into fruits, and fruits will contain seeds. And there you have it, boys and girls, the life cycle of a plant. Now, you can ask Mom if she has beans in the kitchen, and you can take some beans and put it in the dirt outside in your backyard, and you can watch it grow, and you can see the whole life cycle of the plant. Now, later today, I'm going to put these eggplants down in the ground, and each week I will take pictures so you can see just how they're growing. And while we're home for the rest of the year, we are going to follow the life cycle of this eggplant. So ciao guys, until I see you next time, just keep on learning.